All right, so for today, we're going to be doing Goblins. It's a deck that everybody thought was going to be super powerful, the next Splinter Twin, OMG, blah, 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 blah. It's not as powerful as people made it out to be, but it's still strong. It's a good mid-range deck, and it has potential to do that whole Splinter Twin combo with Snoop and Kiki-jiki. And so what Snoop does, for those who don't know, is we can cast goblin spells off the top of our library. And if there's a goblin that's on top of our library, Snoop has the activated ability of those goblins. So if we go turn 2 Snoop and then we see kiki-jiki on the top for turn 3, that means we can create an infinite amount of Snoops. Using that, we could then use Harbinger to go and put a different card on top, such as Siege Gang Lieutenant to sacrifice a goblin, or Shalak Mons, which is whenever another goblin we control dies, it would deal 1 damage to any target. So all of our Snoops die, all of our Snoops deal damage. That's the idea. And then we've got a War Chief and a Chieftain to give our goblins haste and reduce their spells or buff them, so that way we can play more of a mid-range style. We've got a Singleton Krinko here, so that way we can make goblins. And then we've just got other useful mid-range goblins like Goblin Ringleader, which allows us to reveal the top 4 cards of our library and put all goblins into our hand. When everything except Aether Vial, lands, and Agadeem's Awakening is a goblin, most of the time that's hitting 2 to 3 goblins. Not bad for 4 mana to refill our hand and continue. So that's the main game plan of this deck. As far as sideboarding is concerned, what we've got going on is we've got the 4th Munitions Expert because we need a way to deal with creatures. We've got Crater Maker as a way to deal with pesky artifacts such as Ensnaring Bridge, or to destroy any colorless non-land permanent, technically. Doesn't have to be an artifact. Thing can also deal 2 damage to creatures if we need to deal the 2 damage. We've got Boils because control matchups are never fun. Might as well try to take them off of their mana. Blood Moons, for those more greedy mana bases, allows us to shut them off without really hurting ourselves. We've got a Singleton Swamp that we can go fetch if we know we're going to get the Blood Moon down. And even if we don't, we've got Aether Vials to help us get to these 2, 3, or 4. Now, for our artifact department, we've got a couple of Pithing Needles, so that way we can name Planeswalkers or just anything in general that we need to be able to stop. We've got Relics to deal with graveyard shenanigans. Then we've got 3 Chalice of the Void because we've only got 9 1-drops. If we can go turn 1 Aether Vial and then turn 2 Chalice on 1, we'll be pretty set. As far as shutting off our opponents if they're more on the 1-drop plan. That's the rundown of our sideboard, and that's kind of how the main deck works. And we're going to hop into a league here and see how well we can do with the goblins. See you guys in the matches. So they sadly won the die roll, but we'll see what we can do here. They take the play. I see 3 lands. I see a Snoop. I see a Vial. I see a Prospector. This looks to have just about everything we could possibly want. No, you're not allowed to leave. You're stuck here forever. Hey, hey, heebie-jeebies. Happy Tuesday indeed. Also, if Zale's here, I believe it's Zale's birthday. We need to wish him a happy birthday. So they get to take plenty of fun things here. They can take legitimately anything in our hand. And we're probably facing Rakdos Prowess or Rakdos Shadow. Okay, so they take the Vial. We will go Mountain Prospector past turn. It's awkward because we do need the double red. but I'd really like to get black in case they're mid-range. We could sack Prospector to himself to add the red that we would need for Snoop. That is a line. I don't necessarily think that's the right line. And just from the aspect, with the second Snoop, we'll play out the land, go to combat, hit for 1 here. See if opponent lets us connect. Okay, they push. Makes me think that they're more mid-rangey. So we'll go ahead and just pass turn here in case they have the Blood Moon. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Now, if they do have the Blood Moon, this Aghanim's Awakening is probably just going to be played as a mountain. Raging Ravine, so they're Jund. Since that happened, I'm a-okay using this to go get ourselves a Blood Crypt into play here, tapped. Then we draw Bloodstained Mire. This, we'll go ahead and get ourselves a Swamp. And then go red Snoop. Just so that way we can see what we've got on top. A Prospector. Okay. So we could play that out. It doesn't buy us anything. They go ahead and they bolt our Snoop. Go ahead and do that in the end step. I wish opponent had done that in main. Well, no, because we still can cast and sack. We can have done that trick there. All right, opponent's got 3 cards left in their hand. However, next turn we have Chieftain plus Prospector, hit for 4. Ooh, Ren and 6 real good here for us. Because yes, they can get this Bloodstained Mire, but then they only have 1 red or black. So they kind of need removal. This will go ahead and get a mountain. We will go this Chieftain, this Prospector, in combat of 4 at Ren and 6. Ren and 6 gets killed, and we get to pass the turn. So there's a basic swamp. And opponent has the Lily. Sure. Target player sacks a creature. We'll sack the Prospector. Haste is much more valuable to us. Opponent's got 2 in hand. This we draw a Cavern of Souls. Yeah. This will do Goblin. And play out the Snoop. Just see what we can hit off of this hasty Goblin. Vile. Well, that's If opponent has bolt or push, they can bolt or push the chieftain here. Assassin's Trophy the chieftain, so that way we can't kill their Lily. We go ahead and say yes to get the shuffle here. And it's a Siege Gang Lieutenant. How nice. Post combat will play out the Siege Gang Lieutenant. And the Shalik Mons on top. All right. Easy peasy. Sounds fun. Opponent pitch. Nothing. Picked up 2, I guess, is technically what they did. They can uptick their Lily. We lose Agadeems. They lose Lily. There goes our Snoop, which is a bit unfortunate. But we can't stop that. Each player discards a card. Yeah. Interesting that I have an option there when I only have 1 card in hand. They get rid of a Bloodbraid Elf. All right. So we draw Shalik. And then we get to kill Lily? No, we're mana shy. This red. Do that, and then we can do this. Oh, that's 4 mana, sack a goblin. I thought it was 2 mana. So, sack a goblin. We can lose the life. They gain a life. We can sack our tokens. We can kill their Lily. Guess we should have done that with the Snoop. Do that, and we are now a nice mid-range deck. We do not swing with the Siege Gang. At this point, we are trying to draw matron or ringleader off the top. Goes ahead and bolts there. Target player, sacrifice this goblin. Shalik Mons, hit them. We're up to 20, opponent's down to 12. They can activate a Raging Ravine here. Meaning we now have to quite find our mid-range stuff very quick. We're not out of it yet. Opponents have been able to find... Ooh, boggart. We can boggart, put ringleader on top, and then hit ringleader. Just that way we know what we have next turn. We could get munitions expert. We don't really care about the pyromancer, so it's ringleader here. Ringleader, try to fill our hand up more. And we'll hold the lieutenant back so that way we have a blocker. We can block and sack. That's a redraw. Yep. Something they want to play. So they don't have a Raging Ravine this turn. Nope. They don't want to play it. They want to swing with their Ravine instead. They swing. We go ahead and we block like so. Target them, sacrifice a goblin. Target them, sacrifice itself. Opponent's at 10, we're at 16. And we have ringleader. Let's see what we hit. Ooh. And put 3 goblin cards into hand. Sounds pretty good to me. Do that, and then we also get this munitions expert at flash speed. That's nice. Ringleader has haste. We'd take 6. Well, we have blocker. We'll go ahead and swing here. Take opponent down to 8. It's funny because we could just kiki-jiki copy ringleader. And that's probably what we're going to do. If ringleader gets to live. One, two, Colligan's command, 2 damage, return Bloodbraid Elf. And then they're gonna be casting Bloodbraid Elf. We'll go ahead and do munitions expert. And get rid of Pyromancer. Yes, it puts a Pyromancer in the bin for them to make tokens with, but whatever. They're now spinning the wheel with this Bloodbraid, trying to hit something. They hit a bolt. That's fine by us. We need to land on the top here. Land allows us to go matron into ringleader. Land. Yeah, baby. Reveal that one. Red, black, matron. Okay, say yes. Go ahead and grab a ringleader here. And play out a ringleader. Reveal a good amount of cards. So we can swing for 2, take him down to 6. Opponent then now has to deal. With our board state, we've got a matron to block their ravine. And then we'll have War Marshal and ringleader again. Liliana of the Veil. That'll happen. They can't animate. Target player sacrifices a creature. If we'll sack the ringleader just because we have another ringleader. In step upkeep, we draw Tarfire. That's a nice goblin card. We'll drop ringleader down. Reveal ourselves a snoop and a boggart. Sure. Any order. At this point, it's what? Red, snoop. And then Tarfire there. Tarfire Bloodbraid? Yeah. Get rid of their creature, combat. And kill Lily. Opponent loses Lily, and we know our top of the library is an islet. Inquisition? Sure. Have your pick between matron, harbinger, and marshal. Correct answer is you don't get to touch my kiki-jiki, and that's what we're using. All right, they take the marshal. And they just pass. Interesting. Go ahead and play this off the top. Play this guy off the top. Fred or Marshall. And opponent concedes. All right. Opponent concedes there because they can only block one of these, and we have 2, 4, 6. They block that, and they block one of these, and they take lethal through damage. All right, so we are facing Jund. Blood Moon. Not terrible here. Munitions expert. Doesn't seem like a bad plan. Chalice seems meh. Needles seem mediocre at best. We can go ahead and get rid of the Awakening. We're not getting to the mana to cast this card, and we're going to be trying to Blood Moon, so we're never... This is just a mountain at that point. We can shave a bit. A lot of this is toolbox stuff. I don't really want to shave on the toolbox. You know, we could shave on a Snoop and go down that game plan. Shave a Snoop, shave like a Prospector. Just because that's not our game plan, really. Our game plan is going to try to just be mid-range. Yeah, that looks right. We'll find out. Expert doesn't really kill things like their Goyf, but it does stop their Seasoned Pyromancers and their Bloodbraid Elves. So we'll see how well that plan works. We are going to go ahead and mulligan this. It doesn't do much against Jund. It's very land heavy. We will keep this, however. Bottoming the Siege Gang Lieutenant. I'm assuming they're probably going to like Inquisition and take Snoop. Basic Swamp fetched. The Thoughtseize. You got it, opponent. Alright, man. Thanks for stopping by. Very much appreciated. Good to see we're up again. Key. Oh, you're coming back? Fun. Gotta support. Understandable. So we get that. Hey now. Dreas Industries doesn't need any indentured servants. We have plenty of those already. Have you taken a look at the villager trading tower? Nice. So we're waiting on opponent here. We are down a bit on clock. We need to keep that in mind. Opponent has foothills. I'm gonna go ahead and do Blood Crypt tapped. Cavern. I like Cavern here because it allows us to play out this Snoop, and maybe they won't fetch for a basic forest, and then we'll draw Blood Moon off the top. We've got a Blood Crypt. That's not great for us. This probably gets basic forest. Is opponent planning to Blood Moon us? And I'm gonna go ahead and get this basic swamp. Opponent's fetching basics. That makes me think that they're gonna try to Blood Moon. Wooded Foothills. Fetches and shocks. And a Renin 6. Sure. They go up. Yep. We can't really stop that. Well, no, we can. Because of how Munitions Expert works here. If they have the push, we get punished for this line that we're about to try. If they don't, we're golden. Anti-Toggle, reveal Munitions Expert. Red, black, Munitions Expert. Triggered ability, that, target there. With that on the stack, I'm going to play out a second Munitions Expert and hit their Renin 6. And we take, it's all in. But I don't want them having a Renin 6 around. That doesn't seem smart. Letting Jund be able to get value. They go down to 12 here. We might be all right. Stomping Grounds tapped. Lily? Yeah, Lily. We going up? Lily goes up. They try to save their Lily. We've got the Tarfire, however, to take care of that card. This, we draw a Vial, which isn't great. So go ahead and hit 2 at Lily. And then we'll Tarfire the Lily. Damage happens. And Tarfire. Opponent no longer has their Planeswalkers. We've got a meh board state. So if they have like Bloodbraid Elf to start cascading into great things, we're in trouble. If they don't, we're in a pretty good spot here. We'll go ahead and say yes. This doesn't give our goblins anything, so there's no point to play it out. It's not a lord. So we're just gonna hold and hit for 2. This does punish us if they have Liliana, but... Alright, well, they Inquisition it away. That's unfortunate. So they only have 1 card. I don't know where we stop with this Vial. Man, Kiki. Unfortunate. Hit for 2. Got 1 card remaining to deal with their stuff. Opponent still isn't looking too hot. I think we go ahead and take this Vial up to 3. And that seems pretty good to me. Red, 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 black, red. Mirror Breaker. And it's funny because we don't create a token, we just hit for 4 here. One's got 1 in hand, they're at 3. They were very much in on their Planeswalker plan, and we shut that down. And there we have it. Opponent concedes, so we get match 1. We won the die roll. We'll take the play here. Like, if we had 1 more land, this would be keepable. I think we mulligan. Definitely don't keep that. Well, hand's got a lot if we can get there. We'll put back matron and ringleader. We're leading off with a Shocked-in Blood Crypt and an Aether Vial, so that way we can try to get to 3. Wooded Foothills has been found for our opponent. Let's go ahead and uptick the vial. And play out second vial. And pass the turn. Opponent goes ahead and fetches. And Temple Garden. Okay. Temple Garden and Plains and Auriok Champion. Okay. We're not going to have fun with that one. Yes, on both of these. We have a Munitions Expert, which doesn't do us any good. So I'm taking a guess. This is Heliod combo? Yeah, especially with that fetching of a basic there. Utopia Sprawl. All right. James White and Skyclave. Boo hiss. So let that one resolve. Go ahead and tap the vial here. Say yes. Put in an expert. Yes, they gain life. It's unfortunate. We can't kill the Skyclave there. We can only ping it once. And we have to just take 1. We're down to 17. Opponents at 20. The vial will go up to 2. And we have a Cavernous Souls, naming Goblin. Other than that, we are passing the turn. We might be dead here. Not quite. They still need to do heliod. They're 1 turn away. So there's the mana that they need. Now do they just have the card that they need? So with Matron, I don't know what we grab here. I guess we need to have our combo go off with the Auriok triggers on the stack. Is how we're winning. We just don't have a way to deal with that card. Okay, swing for 1. Yeah, it's make 10 million goblins and then kill them with all those 10 million triggers on the stack. Which would mean that matron go get Snoop. Land there is perfect for us. However, now we can't vial in Snoop. We have to play it out. Matron. They gain 1. Say yes, go get Snoop. Hope that they don't have disruption. And go red, Snoop. They've got 2 in hand. Alright, then we've got Awakening on the top. It's a fun one. We can pass the turn here. Next turn we'll have play Goblin Matron. So Coco hits Heliod and Conclave. Meaning they get to make a massive creature here. They make their Auriok massive. Makes sense since we don't exactly have any black goblins to block. Okay, we're staring down 5. Opponent has it, they have it. We'll go ahead and move on. If they don't, we've got our combo. So what we can't lose is we cannot lose our Snoop. Block. They can do lifelink if they want. Looks like they're going to. That's fine. That's fine. They give 2 of their creatures lifelink. We go down to 11. They go up to 30. Meaning we have to make 30 goblins. Okay. Opponent's doing something here. Second Heliod? Sure. Gains them a bit of life. They have to pick a Heliod to keep. We are dead if they get to untap with this Auriok champion, but they are also now tapped out. So we win as long as we don't screw this up. This. Say no. Now we go matron. Red, and 1. Yep. Auriok, they get to gain life. Yeah. This'll happen. Say yes. Go get Harbinger. And then we have Kiki on top. In response. Want that over here. Because we've got the vial, we're fine. I'm just gonna continue to do this until there are 3 stacks of 10. Because they do gain 1 more life here. Lots of triggers onto the stack. All right, that's 20. Eight. Da, 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 da. So that'll give us all of our goblins. Last one. Do this. Say yes. Put in harbinger. Opponent does get to gain 1 off the Oriok here. Sure. And pick where they want to put this counter. Okay, they pick over there. Harbinger, say yes. Go get ourselves Siege Gang, right? That's the one that's life loss. Yep. So we'll gain life. And with that on top, sacrifice and save targets. Target player. Go ahead and slowly but surely take these goblins away. Opponent's making us play it out. Unfortunate. That means we get to make them play it out when they have their combo. But hey, we get game 1 here. We get to bring in needles and other fun things. The fun part for us is we had to do this all with triggers on the stack the entire time because we could not let them gain life. All right. Good old having to click through. Our problem is that means we're going to have a rough time if we don't get game 2 here. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Ta-da. There we go. With 15 minutes left on the clock, we're facing Heliod Company. Yep, they made us click through the combo. Just means if they have the combo, we get to make them click through it since they weren't nice. Yep. I mean, we can get Needle here. So we can name, yep, Spike Feeder or walking ballista. Munitions expert is interesting. It allows us to kill some of their things. Blood Moon is tempting, but I feel that they run enough basics and they'll probably grab their basics. As far as what's not great against them, we definitely want to keep the combo in. I think that's how we're winning this matchup. Starfire. I don't know. So our awkward part here is going to be if they bring in needles of their own. So we might need to grab Crater Maker here. I'd rather be proactive than reactive there. Do this, and then we have Shave. Yeah, I think it's Shave and Awakening. Shave. Prospector. And let's try this, see how we can do against Heliod Company with Goblins. So we've got a turn 1 needle, but we're not doing anything else. So we're going to go ahead and mulligan. And this we can keep. Bottoming turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. I kind of don't mind the harbinger here, from the aspect of it's a decent card. I guess we'll put ringleader on bottom because we can get it with harbinger here. Pendlehaven Arbor Elf. All right. It will go Blackcleave Cliffs past the turn. They will not have double white for an Auriok champion. Ooh, nice. We will go Cavern of Souls, Name Goblin, and red-black Crater Maker. Puts them in a bit of an awkward spot because if they kind of need to get rid of this to be able to combo out, but they also don't have to kill us with combo, so they don't have to worry about this. All right. Opponent's thinking on something here. It's the path. Okay. They path their elf. Not what I was thinking they were going to do. Utopia sprawls the forest, names white, and then drops down Heliod. Debating between double white, double green. Heliod comes down here. We draw the Mirror Breaker. The problem is we don't have a needle here. So we'll just play this down and hit them for 5. So they needed 2 more mana to be able to kill us on the spot with ballista combo. 1 mana away. If they have infinite life, they have infinite life. That's fine. I'm still going to make them click through it because they made us click through it. Double white Auriok champion. Yeah. Yeah, opponent. And spike feeder. Well, go ahead and yield until the next end step. Let them pick a number to eat as much clock off their time as possible. So we could have stopped the infinite life with the Crater Maker if we had held it up. However, so they've got game 2 here. We're just letting them eat time off of their clock since they made us eat our clock when we had the combo kill. They do eventually have to stop, and if they try to again, we have Trader Maker available. Swamp. Okay. We'll go Swamp. We'll go Matron here. Get Snoop. Yeah, you gain life. They put the counter on their spike feeder. Smart by them. Because now our Crater Maker no longer kills it. So they will have infinite life. As far as we're concerned. And we'll get Snoop here and pass the turn. Got lots of redraws. They do Conclave Minter, we'll go ahead and scoop it up. Because that makes Spike Feeder infinitely large. They draw. Coco try to find their things. Get an Arbor Elf and another Spike Feeder. Alright, second Spike Feeder there is brutal. Because it grows Spike Feeder number 1 just completely out of range. And looks like their game plan is to just grow their Auriok champion here. Auriok champion gets in for 3. We can't block it. We go down to 16. We draw Snoop. Islets. So again, we could try to combo, but all of our Snoops would be tapped. And we don't get past them having infinite life. So we go red, red, Snoop, and pass. Needle. That's a card we really want to be drawing. Yeah. Awkward. So if we draw Needle, we won't have mana to use Crater Maker to stop them from killing us. So we have to just pass and take this draw. In Vista, they fetch. Plains. They draw. White for Coco number 2. Sure. Ranger is found. That's fine. They grow their stuff. This Ranger of Captain Eos finds their walking ballista, which is unfortunate. They're 1 mana. No, they've got the Arbor Elf, so they've got it if they know what they're doing. But we're still gonna make them play through it. Begin combat. They swing with just those. We cannot block that. Or we can't block the Auriok Champion, so we have to take 5. Then we will block there. In step. We'll go ahead and take this draw. We have a land on top. Oh, nice. Opponent let us do this. Sure. Gain as much life as you would like. Go ahead and always yield. Yield. I want to let this card resolve. Is there a way to yield until stack resolves? I could toggle auto pass. I don't want to do that. Time to just hit one. Either opponent runs out of clock or I do. Uh, and so at what point does Moto start lagging too terribly for us to win? All right. We'll let them get up to 500-ish here and then concede. The reason we concede is to save time. While yes, we technically have the win here, they can make it to the point where we would clock out by trying to win, or crash Moto by trying to win. And so we're just letting them catch time here. So at this point, it's just going to be a waiting game. We could... Trying to see who's clocking out. Problem is we're both going through about a second at a time here. Yeah, can't do auto pass. So even if we lose this, I'm marking it down as a win in our book. From the aspect of we have the win with this needle on the stack. Because we named Spike Feeder, we combo off. But it's a game loss here, and we're going to be going into game 3. As soon as we get down to 7 minutes remaining, we'll concede. To save time, opponent's not clocking out faster than we are here, which is unfortunate. All right, we'll go ahead and concede here. To save the time, it doesn't matter. We have the win, but I know that they don't care about that. They would much rather us clock out and then win through that. Like how we sideboarded. Run it back. Unfortunate that they were using up less time than we were there with the needle on the stack. Even though we had yielded to both of their things, we still had to hit okay with every time that we wanted to resolve the needle. And in response, they could still do their stuff. Somehow they were using less time than we were, even though we were just spamming 1, which is okay. Other than that, so again, we should have it, but because opponent. Okay, mulligan. One land, mulligan again. This has needle, matron, harbinger. Looks good. Put that on bottom. Put vial on bottom. This needle, and go ahead and name Spike Feeder. Pass turn. Now we just need lands. A Forest Arbor Elf. Looks like they're trying to just ramp here. Problem is that we have to play pretty quick. That's not a land. It's not bad. Need a black source here, and we can matron go get Utopia Sprawls, names white. And double Coco hits Heliod Ranger. Just Heliod. All right. And that's not a land. Unfortunate. So do they have the Auriok champion here? Utopia Sprawls, name white yet again. And if they have Auriok here, we lose. Well, they need Auriok plus Ballista. Okay, they do this. Oriok. Ballista on one. Ranger. Okay. So they're gonna be trying to just win through beatdown here. Well, no, Ranger go gets walking ballista, and then they'll have combo next turn. They get to smack for 5 here. Wife came home, had to be an adult briefly. Understandable. So we had game 2 if it was a paper game, but because it's a moto game, we couldn't win there. So we get to lose based on technicalities because they have walking ballista in hand and we don't have a way to deal with it. Unfortunate. Yep. They get to gain some life, but they have the combo. Say yes. Go and get ourselves Creator Maker here. If we had another turn, we'd be okay, but we don't. They had out infinite life combo. We played... Right. We played Pithing Needle to stop them from having infinite life. They, in response, were going to infinite life. They were eating up less time than we were on clock. They got to 500. At that point, I figured even if we made an infinite amount of things, it did not matter. Well, even if we made enough to stop them from doing things, they still just kill us. They give their walking ballista here, lifelink, and because they made us play it out, we're gonna make them play it out. So we had them with that needle on the stack. We were gonna stop them, and then we could harbinger, go infinite, make an infinite amount of goblins, sacrifice the infinite amount of goblins, all with the triggers on the stack, and kill them. However, because this is MTGO and not in paper, the clock was a factor here, and we were down 3 minutes already. We weren't going to get there on time. So, win in paper, loss on MTGO. Unfortunate. Opponent said GG's. I let them know I had game 2, but because clock's a factor, they get it. All right, onwards to match 3. We won the die roll. We'll gladly take the play. Prospector into Trinko? Yeah. Looks like a fun start. Turn what? This doesn't turn 2 kill. As far as I'm aware. The hand that we kept is a much more mid-range hand. Scalding Tarn. All right, opponent. This, we'll go ahead and shock in, hold up munitions expert. Just because we can flash it in. It's nothing we're really too worried about from them here. Scalding Tarn makes me think either blue-red or Europile. And that makes me go Europile. Fun time. Yeah, that's Europile. Fun times are ahead. So I kind of want to hold this munitions expert. But at the same time, we need to be aggressive. We play out the expert. We have Trinko next turn. It's a bit awkward because it's only Trinko. There. Not use munitions expert ability. This we draw a kiki-jiki. Begin combat swing. Problem is we lose our Trinko if we play out just Trinko. Opponent could have bolts or path off that triome. I'm assuming that they don't. I'm assuming they just have something weird like Uro here. We could matron, sacrificing our munitions expert. What can matron grab? Could grab the thing that gives goblins haste and cost less. That sounds like a plan here. Uncounterable matron, go get the war chief. It's one of these. This one is the +1/+1. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it. And have a good sleep. Common spells cost 1 less to cast, and goblins have haste. Do that. Pass turn. And they go land Uro. Blue, green, green. Would you look at that? It's a card. They gain some life. And put in a hollowed fountain. Shocked in. I don't like that they shocked that in. This, we draw a chieftain. How interesting. Sacrifice matron. Red, red. Play out the chieftain and hit for 4. They know about the war chief. Looks like they're going to go ahead and pad the chieftain. That's fine. Gives us our 3rd land. Guess we'll do mountain here. Opponent takes 1 and goes to 16. And they have Omnath next turn. Let's see this Omnath so we can cry. They shocked in breeding pool. 3 fair or to fairy for 5. Time warp. Okay. They just want to take a turn. 5 mana explore. It's basically what that was. Put a land into play, draw a card. They go down to 13. Mystic Sanctuary puts Time Warp back on top. Maybe they put the path. They go with the Time Warp. Makes sense, makes sense. Blue, green, blue, blue. What on earth are we casting? A Mind Sculptor. All right. That and then brainstorm. You know that they now have time warp in hand. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. They're a couple cards short of Uro. Matron is interesting. I think this is swing with the prospector at Jace, play down Krinko, and just to try to put down pressure. Make them want to have mana. Uncounterable Krinko. And Path to Exile. I mean, I knew what I was playing into there, but we kind of still had to do that. So definitely Boil Blood Moon matchup. Boil Blood Moon and Relic. Take out Munitions Expert. They take another turn. Polluted Delta, they can do this. Put the card back on top with Mystic Sanctuary. Yay! 4-color money pile doing fun things. Yep. We can go ahead and hit 6. We can't do anything here. Opponent doesn't have a clock yet, so I'm not going to concede. We'll have enough to do ringleader. So that looks like Teferi, but it's time warp again. It's a nice explorer opponent keeps casting. Red. Red, green, Renin 6. And now I get to pick up a fetch land, play fetch land, go get another sanctuary. Oh, they just have sanctuary in hand. Fun. They brainstorm here. So again, they've yet to present a clock. We know that at this point they probably have an infinite amount of turns. Not gonna say that they do, because they only have one more sanctuary here. All right. And time warp number 4 has been cast. They go with the Delta. Yeah, and they grab Mystic Sanctuary 4 here, put time warp on top, grab card. Oh, are they out of Mystic Sanctuaries? Interesting. Opponent's also down to 3. They're down to 9. Green, green, blue, blue. They can Uro, leaving just time warp left. This, they take an extra turn. Now they need a way to... I guess they have they have enough to do cryptic, bounce a sanctuary, draw a card. They can get that on recursion. Let's go ahead and hit 6. We can't do anything. Flooded Strand is played. They go ahead and shuffle away the cards. Give themselves a Steam Vents here, tapped. No Field of the Dead for our opponent yet. They go up, they put the Flooded Strand into hand, they hit us with Uro. They put the Flooded Strand on the play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cryptic, bounce and draw. Tameo, what? Okay. So they need one more turn here. If they can cast another spell that takes another turn, we will go ahead and concede because that will be lethal. But until that point, granted, we can't win on the spot here, so we can't stop them. Choose a non-land card name. They named Growth Spiral and hit 2 of them. Omnath, they draw. Land drop. So I guess at this point they're just looking for any way to bring back that time warp. Plains, they get 4 mana. 1 more land drop here. It's a fairy. Okay. They draw, they've got 8 in hand. They return Flooded Strand. They swing with Uro. We take 4, go down to 8, and then take 6 from the Uro here. If they have Bolt, we lose. Can't block anything. One is at 20 now. Do you have Bolt, opponent? Do you have a way to... The funny thing is, we might still just die in our upkeep if they can hit 3 land drops here. With what their hand is. The double growth spiral. Alright. We can't win. We will go ahead and concede. Okay, Munitions Expert. That card can come out. Blood Moon and Boils. Get in here. As far as what else we can cut. Tarfire seems meh. Relics we like here, being able to stop not only their time warp but also their Uro. We can cut. All right. Shave Snoop, Harbinger, and I guess Kiki. Make it so we're not so combo reliant. Actually, we'll take the play here. We've got Vile, Relic, and Harbinger. It's a very land heavy hand, but I'm not opposed to it. Doesn't have the Blood Moon though, or a Boil, so it's not phenomenal. But hey, you never know. This will go with Blackleaf Cliffs, tap it for red, play it at Aether Vial, and pass the turn. And Scalding Tarn. Put Vial into the stack, say yes. Pick to 1, that's not terrible. I'll go Blood Crypt, tapped for Relic. Alright, pass the turn. Go ahead and just eat a card out of their graveyard there. I'm assuming this is go get one of their 2 triomes. I just don't want them to have Wrenn and 6 turn 2. I mean, they can still have Wrenn and 6 turn 2 with a fetch land here. Alright, that's a Flooded Strand. Let's put that onto the stack. Say yes. Upkeep a Skirk Prospector. That's fine. We'll go reveal the Prospector, play the Prospector, pass turn. Go ahead and exile their Flooded Strand. Just so that way they don't have fetch land shenanigans. They get a basic Plains. Interesting that they chose basic there. Misty cracked. It's another basic. Wrenn and 6. They try to pick up, we exile. Yeah, this feels terrible. But I really don't want them getting land. They now only have plains. Say yes. So we can Sling Gang or hold up Boil. Attack Wrenn and 6 here. Take Wrenn down to 3. We could play out the Sling Gang. I don't like doing that. I don't like boiling them when they only have 1 blue source. They go ahead and they ping. We'll go ahead and sacrifice this goblin. Wrenn and 6 was used to ping. That's good for us. We'll lose the mana. This island. Burrow? Sure, we'll let this resolve. See if we can't hit another card with Boil here. It's not terrible. Boil. They lose 3. Uro goes away. They're holding up planes. Do this. Say yes. Put out Boggart. Say yes. Go get ourselves a ringleader, right? Yeah. Yeah, ringleader. Vial. We'll take it to 4. Why not? You pathing the harbinger here? Sure. Use path. Get ourselves a swamp. Yeah, we'll say yes. Would you look at that? Blood Moon. That anti-hovel and pass the turn. So opponents got... I mean, they'll still have all of their colors. It just it'll take them a while with Ren 6. They get their island back here. And they play out a... Okay. Interesting choice by opponent. Step activate. Put in slinging. Make ourselves some gobos. And we are going to leave this vial on 4. This say no. Ringleader. Go ahead and do this to get around them having anything. Ringleader trigger. See what they do. Ooh, they do nothing. And we'll reveal the combo. Any order. We don't have a way for haste, however. So Snoop. And Hovel on top. Okay. We will go 3 at Ren and 6. 2 at opponent. And no, we'll make them all at Ren. Just in case opponent has Bolt or Path. Opponent can play out their blue source here. Omnath? Sure. You lose? Because I have Boggart in hand? Boggart just says, I win now that you don't have anything? Say no. Chieftain. I mean, we could. Yeah, we'll do Chieftain. Why not? Give him haste. And play out the Harbinger. And say yes. Put mirror breaker on top. And we're gonna do this for a bit. Does opponent see that we have the sling gang? Opponent doesn't want to concede, of course. There they go. They concede because they see that we have the sling gang out. We'll make 20 we'll make 20 goblins, and then we'll sacrifice them all. Opponent has no out to that. They did see that we're running Boil and Blood Moon, though. So they'll probably be fetching for basics. I don't disagree with what we brought in. They saw all of our sideboard stuff, but I think it's all what we want. So let's see how we can do here against Uropile. Huh. Hand, it doesn't do anything. The same issue, but we keep. We'll put a eyelet on bottom. And opponent's at 9 minutes. Let's see what they can do. They mulligan down to 5. All right, Triumph Argo. I like that start. An Anti's Hovel, reveal a Skirk Prospector. And play the Skirk Prospector, pass the turn. We go Cavern of Souls named Goblin, and then we go Hovel Chieftain. Opponent goes Misty Rainforest, and let's see this Renin 6. Opponent, no, I was kidding. Opponent. Ping. That's what you do. Yep. Sacrifice to itself just to deny opponent. Do this. Go. Sure. Reveal Snoop. Play Snoop. Does opponent have the path? They've got 4 in hand. They put Misty back into their hand. Maybe they're gonna hold up counter magic here. Is there hope? Because they don't have path. Because this is the forest island. They don't have path here. So we only lose to Bolt. Since we've got a cavern to name Goblin. This we draw green, blue, growth spiral. They're searching for something. Misty Rainforest. Fetches. Gets a hollowed fountain, shocks it in, paths the Snoop. White, green. Celestial purges the Snoop? Celestial purges the Snoop. Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen, opponent. Not happy. But that's fine. You will name Goblin here. All of these for red. This for red. Goblin Chieftain. Let's go. Go ahead and hit Renin 6. Opponent goes down to 1. Or Ren and 6 goes down to 1. Opponent's at 16. But we'll have Sling Gang next turn. And all of these will have haste. Puts Misty back into hand. Assuming this is Euro. Or I mean Omnath. Yep, that'll happen. They draw a card. They go Misty. And I'm assuming they fetch if they have the fun times. Unfortunate that they had the purge there, but we can't always have what we want. They could, I could see them going and getting Mystic Sanctuary off this rainforest. Yep, and Sanctuary put Purge back on top. Because they know that we're drawing Ringleader. It's not really a card that they want to have to deal with. And then they have the path. No, because I like the card that we have on top. It's Ringleader. They play out second Ren and 6. Get rid of Ren and 6. Uptick to play Misty. They have one card left in hand. This, we draw a Ringleader. Go ahead and name Goblin. And let's see what this Ringleader hits for us. Uncounterable Ringleader. Take a look at the top 4. Oof. Only hit a Krinko. Any order. And pass the turn. No point to swing a 2-2 into a 4-4. That is just quite literally suicide. Opponent's got 5 minutes to shut this game out. However, I mean, they have Misty Rainforest fetches galore here and purges and paths, so I think they're in a fine and dandy position. Other than their clock management seems to be bad. White and green, purge the Ringleader, fetch, get Mystic Sanctuary. Yep. Ringleader gets purged. Interesting. When it's down to 5 minutes. They've got themselves a decent clock here, though. Only one card in hand. So if we Krinko to try to force them to do stuff. Mog War Marshal, huh? All of these for black. All of these for black. Sling Gang, uncounterable. Yep, we make some goblins. At this point, they're chump blockers. That's our game plan. Is just introduce a bunch of chump blocks. They can ping with the Renin 6 here, which was awkward. They go ahead and they do that. We will go ahead and do target player. No, choose target player. Sacrifice Thing to its own ability. And opponent's down to 4 minutes. We've got some blockers. Omnath, yeah, they gain life. Jump block. Land here means, ooh, boil. Ooh. 1 card in hand, we have boil. I mean, if we go Mog, we buy time. We've got enough life that we can take a point here. I say a point, it's 4. Yeah, they ping. They've got 2 cards in hand. They're holding this Misty to fetch. We take the damage. Down to 13 we go. In step, try to resolve a boil. What we doing, opponent? They float mana. Growth spiral. All right, upkeep, and then we draw Shalak Mons. Interesting. Hog War Marshal, pass the turn. Opponent fetches with the Misty Rainforest. Steam Vents tapped. They gain life. I'm assuming Renin 6. Yep. They do that. They have 4 mana. What do they do with this 4 mana? I don't know. They let it die. They turn the Omnath sideways, fine by us. Go ahead and block. And we make ourselves a 1/1. This land isn't terrible. All of these uncounterable red Shalak Mons. And we'll hit Renin 6 for 1. Just to keep Renin 6 at bay here. And we have Harbinger into ringleader. Try to find more gas. Opponent's got a decent setup. Breeding pool, shocked in. They make 4 mana. They time warp to take an extra turn. Sure, sure. Go ahead and block. Hit their Renin 6. Opponent's got a minute to win it. Uro comes down. They gain some life. They draw a card and they take an extra turn. So they might turn this corner in paper. I'm not going to say that we don't necessarily still have this. This is still a close competition. Mystic Sanctuary, get back time warp. I'm assuming. Yep. And then they have Uro. They take an extra turn. No blocks from us. One's got 15 seconds to win it. Green, green, blue, blue, and they'll cast Uro and lose. Unfortunate. Uro resolves. Triggers on the stack. Opponent runs out of time. And we'll get there. Getting there because opponent played a bit slow. The deck that they're playing is relatively difficult to pilot, and their overall playstyle is a bit slow. I'm guessing they might be just a bit new to Magic there. I don't know. Again, we weren't out of it. They were about to start just beating face, and at that point, we probably will start losing. But they just took a bit too long to set up. And so again, technically, well, at this point, I'd say, yeah, our record's right. It's 2-1. The difference is we probably lost against 9 and we won against game night if this was paper events. So interesting difference there. Here we go on the die roll. And no, can't really keep this. This one's not terrible. We can keep bottom of cavern. Have to keep the draw. We'll do cavern, name Gabo, and put down a Skirk Prospector. Pass the turn. Then we'll have a War Marshal into Munitions Expert. Opponent has Polluted Delta, pass. Tarfire is interesting. We'll go ahead and do Blood Crypt, Shocked in here. Red, black, War Marshal. There we go. Make a Goblin. And combat, get in for 1. Also, it's Yorion that they declared. I have no idea what they are. And the Polluted Delta. Let's say Polluted Delta and Luris declared. They're, yeah, I was gonna say they're mill, but nope. Alright, they go ahead and they fetch here. Steam vents. Shocked in. What we're doing, we're bolting our prospector. Sacrifice it to itself. Tarfire you? And there goes Bolt out of our opponent's hand. No point to pay the echo cost. And okay. So Teamer Yorion? No idea what opponent is. No, we'll lose. I guess the difference is if we had sacrificed there, we could have had 2 damage in this turn. We'll go ahead and swing with the Goblin token. Comes at 14. Alright. Growth Spiral? No. Okay. Flooded Strand. We'll go ahead and tempo out here. Our munitions expert. Pick our goblin. Say okay, say no. Upkeep, we now draw. Fun. We've got lots of cards if we could hit mana. Turn them sideways. Alright, Flooded Strand is played for opponent or cracked for opponent. Let's see, are they just 3 color or are they 4? They are 4 color, so 4 color Yorion. Land Omnath. Let's see it, opponent. Just do me dirty like that. What? We don't have it? Cool. I'm not just thoroughly disappointed. Let's go. Well, there's the land. Land for us. That is not a land. So playing this Vial out here is not necessarily the smartest because it could go Cryptic, tap, and counter. And we lose out on 3 damage. However, it's just a Force of Negation, which is useless against us anyway other than that card. So we'll do this and hit him for 3. Opponent's down to 7. We hope land off the top here, swing for 3, take him to 4, and then resolve a Sling Gang and sacrifice all of our goblins. Sounds like a plan. They go down to 6. I guess Omnath Landfall gain life is their game plan. Omnath draw a card. Play their land for the turn. Not only is it a land for the turn, it's a fetch land, so they get to fetch on our turn and gain 4 more. So at this point, we are in trouble unless we can deal with that card. This will pay the 2 life. Go ahead and go all black Sling Gang. Omnath can only block 1 damage here, and we can sack to whatever Omnath blocks. And then we'll be at 12. Yep. They fetch. They get a land. Ooh, a Mystic Sanctuary to put Bolt back on top. Yep. So they can bolt our Sling Gang Lieutenant. They gain 4. They get to block. They block the Munitions Expert. We'll go ahead and sacrifice. Target player them. Sacrifice the Munitions Expert because it's being blocked. It's in our damage. Opponent's down to 10. It's unfortunate here because, oh, another fetch land. That just about does it for us. Because they bolt here, we have to sacrifice. Target them. Sacrifice the goblin. They go to 13. I'm assuming they don't swing with this Omnath because they're just afraid of what we could have in hand. Problem is we don't have anything. They go ahead and fetch here. Down to 12, up to 16. Breeding pool is found. Aether Vial, huh? Well, let's see another Force of Negation. No? Okay, well. At this point, we just hold. Getting in for 3, then 2, then 1 isn't worth. Yep, opponent gains even more life. Omnath putting them just about out of reach here. 4 mana. Hour of Promise shows Field of the Dead and something else. Not only do they make 4 mana here, but they also get 2 zombies. Oh, they just needed double field. So instead it's 4 damage, 4 mana, and 4 zombies. We're not beating out this value engine. So again, another one of these Blood Moon Boil matchups. We haven't seen any Uro, however, I'm assuming they're running it. Fury into hand. And they hold. All right. Skirk Prospector. Fun one. Uncounterable and pass the turn. One is 20. We're at 14. We need a good set of runners here to be able to do anything. It's not impossible for us to win from here because we have the combo. The Mystic Sanctuary on top's gonna be, or the Hour of Promise is gonna be rough. I'm assuming they probably have 4 fields. So they have a way to draw. Or I guess this is 8. They've got 12. Yeah. Turn the zombies sideways. So we need... There's nothing we can draw here as far as I can tell. We'll go down to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yorian. Flicker the Omnath. And then they have a draw here. Lucky for us, it's a sorcery speed on the hour. However, we are just dead to their board state. Let's just see what our top deck is, because we can. Harbinger. Yep, that won't do us anything. We'll go ahead and concede from here. Opponent gets game 1. We need to try to get game 2 and game 3 here. So again, Boil Blood Moon. Expert doesn't seem that great. They only really have Omnath. Starfire can come out. Gonna hate myself for not bringing in these relics because we didn't see an Uro last time, but I'm guessing they're running it and they just didn't see it because they're an 80 card deck. I would love to take the play. Mulligan. Sure, this is uninterrupted turn 3. I'm willing to bet that they might not have at that. Anti-Sobble, reveal Skirk Prospector, play Skirk Prospector, pass turn. Island pass. A Hovel, reveal Snoop. All of those for red. Snoop. Vial on top. Neat. Hidden for 1. Opponent's down to 19. Snow-covered forest. Growth spiral. Polluted delta. And Step Mountain shown on the top there. We'll go ahead and crack. Shuffle. Give ourselves a swamp. Harbinger's on top. Neat. Harbinger. Say yes. Kiki-jiki. Snoop you to death. Why do they never concede to this? All right. Alright, that's lethal. Copy the boggart. Trigger, say yes. Get the sling gang. And sacrifice save targets. Target them. Sack a goblin. Did opponent concede? Yay, opponent conceded. Alright. Now we just need to do that again. So we got game 2. Didn't need Blood Moon, didn't need Boil. They got basics. Well, they played a basic and then they fetched. No, they played 2 basics, didn't they? They didn't fetch at all. They take the play here. Makes sense. We've got a Skirk and a Boggart, but other than that, we've got a hand that does not a lot. We will mulligan this. Mulligan. Sure. Hey, Co with the raid of 16. How's it going, man? How'd your Abzan go? We're currently facing Yorion, 4-color Yorion. Alright, they go Polluted Delta. This will be fun. Got destroyed, resulting in 2-3. Ah, so the inverted green black X 5-0. Rakdos kicks your teeth in. Unfortunate. This Prospector, play Prospector. So this hand doesn't do a whole lot. We're mainly riding on the back of this ringleader. We did happen to hit the turn 2 last game, or the turn 3. So there's their first 3 colors. Let's see if they can get the other 4th color. There it is. 4 colors, baby. Boyle looking pretty decent. Brennan 6, get themselves another color. Yeah, opponent. Oh, you're gonna ping off my Prospector. Fine, don't get the color instead. Anyway, for those who don't know who Ko is, he is another streamer. Does a lot of Abzan stuff. Go check him out. He's amazing. Do this. Alright, Bloodstained Mire. Ass. We don't have anything that we really need to grab. This will probably grab ourselves a swamp. Ideally, what'll happen here is we're going to just top deck this Blood Moon off the top, and then we'll go Blood Moon. They deal with the Blood Moon, and then we boil them. But opponent doesn't know that's what's going to happen. Granted, in order to do that, we need to draw this Blood Moon off the top. Ashiok. Okay. We mill 4 and then exile. Oh, they milled 4 and exiled us. All right. I like their game plan here. Would you look at that Snoop off the top? That's right. I'm stupid. Pay no attention to me. I let the Ashiok resolve without fetching. That is... That's why we have this emote. Because I do that way too often. Just forgetting that these cards exist and do what we need them to. Okay, they ping once. That's fine. Do you have another Renin 6 to ping a second time? Second Renin 6. Keeps their pings. Yeah. Sacrifice Snoop to himself. So there's 2 uses of Renin 6. We should be at 4 lands, but I'm an idiot. They mill 4 from them and then exile our Yard makes sense. We lose out on that mana. Now, Blood Moon off the top. Well, we knew what was on top because, you know, cards do certain things. Prospector here, incentivize them to down tick one more time. If they don't, we'll have Boil. Yep, there's the down tick. Ashiok, they mill themselves 4 more here. Good to note what they've got going on here. They've got Purges and Gust, seems to be what they brought in. A Field of Ruin here destroys us, because this... Alright. Burrow. Oh, Yorion to hand. Okay. We need Boil off the top here. Sorry, they can't. Yorion? Really? It had to be the land that enters tapped. Okay. This. Play Boggart. We'll play a 2-1. Yep. We don't get to search our library. It's just a 2-1. Maybe they ping with Ren and 6 here. If they don't, we get to kill Ren and 6. That's our game plan. Kill Ren and 6 and then boil them. Let's think. How does opponent win from this slot? They fetch. It's Mystic Sanctuary to Bolts. Yep. So they'll be able to bolt the Harbinger here. And then we have to deal with them having 1 color of mana. Being white. Unless they field us here to grab another mana source. Boil is definitely what we want to be doing next turn because it shuts them off of... Ooh, there's an Hour of Promise. Boil shuts them out of being able to have Field of the Dead. Yeah, they hit our Islet. We'll get Swamp. Opponent will have plenty of colors. We'll set them back 4 lands. Ideally. But we have to find out and see. This will happen. Upkeep. And then we draw into a land. Okay. We don't need it. Begin combat. Try to hit Ren and 6. Do we get to connect opponent? Nope, we do not. Okay. We'll play the Undercrypt. Let's go ahead and see if this resolves. They either have Force of Negation or Aether Gust. Okay, well, I'll put that card on top. just as a way to say deal with this card. Granted, they have the Ashiok, so it's not hard for them to deal with it. They just have to choose to target us. But good to note, 20 cards in, no Uro. They pick up Mystic Sanctuary. And play Mystic Sanctuary. Get Gust, sure. And the Urian. Yeah. Flicker both their planeswalkers. Do you have a way to draw? Because you just blew up your world there. Because yes, those come back at the end step. But you didn't draw a card. So we draw Boil. You have to have it. Mana leak. All right. So now they draw Aether Gust, meaning even if we draw Cavernous Souls to make our ringleader uncounterable, it doesn't matter. They mill 4. There's an Uro finally. So we know that they run it. So we're definitely bringing in our... Although this is game 3, isn't it? So it doesn't matter. So we got game 2 real quick. But we didn't see much from them. And then they just get to do this nice little control lock. Kind of interesting that they never brought back the Hour of Promise with the Mystic Sanctuary. I feel that probably would have been better. I don't know. No idea. Anyway, there was definitely a point where we punted. Would they have been able to do something about what our punt was? I don't know. They probably still have this game. Just because we didn't really draw much of anything. But I can't say for certain. Well-timed Boiled can destroy this deck. Yeah, that's Urian. We go down to 14, and then we'll down to 4, and then we're dead. We draw Ringleader 2. Fun. I know that they have Aether Gust, so it does not matter. Yep. Go ahead and bottom that Ringleader. We don't need it. Seeing we're dead in 2 turns, so 1 counter spell will do it for them. I'm assuming that they've got a counter spell in however much they're cycling. Sure. Okay. They put their cycle card back into hand. Hold up enough to hit us for... Or hold up counter magic plus something if they wanted to. They could put a land here. They choose not to. We go down to 4. We are dead to the Urian in the air. We would need 2 cards off the top and them to have no counter magic. It's impossible to draw 2 cards at one time. And there we go. Omnath. And that will definitely seal the deal. And 4-color Urian taking us down. We are 2-2. Looks like we're going to be fighting for scraps here, seeing if we can't salvage the chest or if we're in the night. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by. I very much appreciate the raid. Have a good one, man. Yeah, it is getting late here too. I might not do the second league that we typically do. This Goblin League has been going for a while. Cavernous Souls. Hey, would you look at that? It's that card that we specified does just about nothing if they have another Aether Gust. Ringleader. It doesn't even matter that it's uncounterable. This will happen. We reveal 4 cards. Would you look at that? We hit 3 goblins. Too bad we can only play one of them. And it doesn't even matter because we're dead in the air. We could play out Chieftain if we wanted to. That's an option. And what about? They ping our prospector. No. I want to float mana. All right, and opponent gets us here as long as they turn these all sideways. Cool. They turn them sideways. That is lethal. We block 6. We take 10. We're at 4. 2 and 2. Now let's see how we can end here. Hand doesn't do anything. Yeah, resets it the day before call time. Because it hits Moto on the 28th. Here we go. Thank you very much for the follow, man. Bye. This isn't great. But I don't think we're getting a better 5 than this 6. So we'll start with a Bloodstained Mire and pass the turn. Bobble. Okay, so probably Rakdos Shadow. Second Bobble. Sees what's on top of there. So it's either Bobble or Hammer Time. Marsh Flats, or not Bobble, it's either Rakdos or Hammer Time. Marsh Flats makes me think Hammer Time. They really like what's on top here. They'll do that. We hit a Cavernous Souls. Not necessarily relevant, but hey. We'll go ahead and take our Rainbow Mana. And pass the turn because Munitions Expert is instant speed. They bobble themselves, see what they're drawing, see if they want to crack this Marsh Flats. Alright. They apparently liked both of their top cards to the point where they didn't want to crack that Marsh Flats. This Blood Crypt is played. Thoughtseize. Sure. I mean, they're probably taking either Harbinger or Shalak. Bleh. Words. Goblins, have pronounceable names, please. They take Munitions Expert, meaning that they probably have Swift Spear here. Or they have a Shadow on 1. Alright. We'll go ahead and fetch for Blood Crypt here tapped. And we draw that. Play out this Blackcleave Cliffs because land at this point matters when we play it now or later. And we could... We'll go ahead and play out Shalak here. Why do we pick that one? Because this way they need to grow their Death Shadow by at least 3. Meaning they need at least fetch land for fetch shock. Shock in itself won't do it. Granted, they could just have bolt. So shock plus bolt will do it. Sunforged also does it. Sunforged a bolt in. Yep. What, Skyclave? You do not play that card, opponents. If this is Skyclave, you do not play that card. Not until after you attack. Broxa. Not a bad one. Understandable. We'll go ahead and discard a Harbinger. We're not exactly planning on needing to play that out right now. And has the push. Sure. We'll hit their shadow because I don't want to grow it and make us take 3. So they get in for 2. We go down to 17. And then it's our turn. We'll play out the mountain and then go red, black, black, red. And drop our ringleader. And grab some fun cards. Any order. Last turn. We've got ourselves a 2/2. We can't go Sling Gang plus Munitions Expert, but we can go Munitions Expert, try to take them off of Death Shadow. Basic Swamp. They can now Croaks. I don't know how we're beating a 6/6. Alright, they go with another Shadow instead. Shadow, Swift Spear. And a Scourge. Yeah. And so they tap out, swing with just the 3. We kind of just have to block that, don't we? Snoop. Snoop, see if we see Prospector on top. I don't like that plan. Is this just Sling Gang to chump, triple chump? I don't see how we're winning no matter what we do here. If we take the full 10, we might be able to win. That's our out. Oh, what a nice top deck. You're telling me if we get to live, we win? Red, black, Munitions Expert, the Swift Spear. So they are on TBR or bust. Let's let's make sure we have a stop in our upkeep here. So that way we get to make 10 snoops, play out Sling Gang, and then kill them. They draw 2 and lose 2 life. Sure. Makes sense. Grows their shadows. We're looking at 6. Or we're looking at 13 now. We could block a shadow here with the expert. We block a shadow with the expert. We take 5 less. I mean, we're always dead to TBR anyway. We go down to 9. Does opponent have a way to kill our Snoop? Inquisition. Sure. That does not get rid of the Sling Gang in our hand. Upkeep stop. We're gonna make some goblins. Opponent concedes. Because I know that we've got the Sling Gang in hand. We're gonna just make 10 goblins. Then we're gonna go to draw step, draw the kiki-jiki, play out the Sling Gang, and sack our board. All right. So, red-black shadow. Chalice. Not a bad plan here. Expert is tempting. What are we boarding out? Relic is also, they've got the singleton. I don't feel like trying to play around their singleton or 2 of Kroxa. That card will run away with the game if we let it happen. But at the same time, so take out a Tarfire, a Prospector, and a Vial. Just cut on our 1-drops because we're going to try to get these chalices on 1. Blood Moon is interesting, but I don't think so. I think that's what we do here. Let's see what we can do. So it's a 1-lander, but it's got a Vial. No, we don't keep that. Again, another 1-lander. We've got 22 in the deck. So we're on the draw. 2 matrons, Sling Gang. This hand's honestly keepable other than the fact that we're 1 land. I guess we'll bottom a matron. Let's see that turn 1 Thoughtseize. They bobble themselves, see if they like what they're drawing. Mountain. Swift Spear. Oh, Bowman. Yeah, that's another card. I'd completely forgotten that they run that card. Land? Alright, that is not a land. We will go land pass. Polluted Delta, they fetch. And shock. Do they have a hand disruption? They do. All right. You taking the chalice? You taking the munitions expert? You taking the matron? Or are you taking one of the lords? There's quite a bit to choose from with an inquisition. They take the expert, and then they have second bowmat. Understandable why they would take the expert there. Bowmat gets in. In step, we will crack this, get a blood crypt tapped. We draw second chalice. Okie doke. Not great for us. Keeping a one-lander and getting punished for it. As we should be. Oh my god. Chalice on one would have destroyed them. We don't have any real way to interact. We take 3 and then their Scourge is a 4/4 and we'll be taking 8 next turn. Aether Vial. That's a fun one. Not a land though. So they probably have it here. Well, they have it here because we don't have any way to deal with that. And we missed land drop twice in a row. Unfortunate. That's what we get for keeping one-landers. That's the risk that you take for being greedy like that. TBR. That is lethal. Nice. We go to 8, and then we die. There we go. All right. I like chalices. I like what we did. We just need to, you know, not keep a stupid hand. So let's remember that rule. Don't keep stupid hands. Doesn't do much, but it does enough. How's it going, Freaks Fire Show? Yeah, it's like, it doesn't do much, but it's got the lands to get us there if we can live. You're good? Good to hear. Opponent cracks the Bloodstained Mire. Blood Crypt, Shocked in. Bowmat. Yeah. This Bowmat's gonna get there. We've got the War Marshal. We're fine. You're a huge Goblin fan? Honestly, I'm loving this Goblin deck. It is very fun. Just the whole, it's mainly a mid-range deck, and then it can just combo your opponent to death if you need it to. Yeah, we out mid-ranged Jund game 1, and then we had Heliod combo beat in game 2 if it was paper, but it wasn't. And then we got to hose Uro in a game. We lost to it, but we got to just boil them and then Blood Moon. So even though our record's not great, I've been having a blast playing this deck. One has got the Inquisition. Sure. What do you take? Matron or Harbinger? Both of them can grab the same card. They take Matron, so that way it's on top. Yeah, I think I'm roughly like 350 wins and like 380 losses. So relatively even, but Not quite. We're not going to pay that. Echo cost. We'll make a goblin. We draw a mountain. I guess we'll do blood crypt, shocked. It feels weird shocking in a blood crypt here because it grows their scourge if they have it. But this, say yes and go get ourselves Mr. Midrange engine of ringleader. See if opponent wants to. Nah, we'll force them to have a fetch land here. As much as getting in for one sounds fun, I doubt that they'd sacrifice their bowmat. So it'd just either be trading or they take the one because they want to take one. Because a shadow here isn't phenomenal for him. Bowmat, we have ringleader. I was opponent. We'll just see if this Krinko gets to run away with the game. Kind of just force opponent to have removal here. Kozilek's return. Sure. Doesn't kill the Krinko. Well, yes, it's not as bad for them anymore. Target sacks the creature. Yeah. Well, it mainly slows us down, right? There's a shadow on one. That's fine by us because we have this ringleader to refill our hand. So ringleader gets us more cards. That whereas Mog gets us a blocker. I like ringleader. Because we'll have enough mana to be able to cast any one card that we hit here. Or we'll also, yeah. Or we'll just hit the full combo. All right. We can hold ringleader back for a blocker here. They need a way to grow their shadow or it's dead to the munitions expert. Ideally, land off the top allows us to go Mog, War Marshal, Snoop, Munitions. They do nothing to grow their shadow that far. Bobble, short. And then we have full combo. Two cards in hand. I'm assuming they swing in for one. So it has to be something that grows this shadow, or they're just willing to trade shadow and put Luris into hand. I'm fine with this if it's something that grows shadow. Okay, it's K command 2 damage to themselves and then return Bowmat Courier. Sure. That's just strictly incorrect. Just because they know what our hand is here. They've got 2 in hand. We know one's Bowmat Courier, so 1 unknown. They draw off a bobble. We draw, of course. I did not specify. It needed to be an untapped land that we drew. Thanks, Moto. Um, I mean, it's just Marshall here. Force them to have their answer in their hand, right? Marshall, Snoop. We get ourselves some chump blockers here. If Snoop gets to become unsummoning sick, we win. They've got 4. So 3, because we know one's Bomat. 3 cards to deal 2 damage to our Snoop. They put Luris in the hand, meaning that they didn't have a way to deal with Snoop. Probably. Oh, they did. How good for them. We lose our Snoop. That's fine. This Boggart will now go and get. So, I mean, I guess we could kill their Shadow. No, I want to hold this Expert to kill Luris so they don't get value off of it. That will do this. We draw. This, that. And we can go Boggart. Boggart. We'll get ourselves a ringleader here. Card just is so nice to refill hand. And then we will hold up our munitions expert. So opponent's Luris that's in hand does not buy them much. They bobble themselves, see what they're drawing. Okay. They swing with the Shadow. Again, make them have a way to grow it. Because if they don't, they just get Luris and replay their Shadow, and then we kill their Luris because we'll still have 2 for the munitions expert. Luris happens. In Shadow. Missions expert, target Shadow, target their Luris. Get rid of that card. They have a 3/3. In step, we'll draw a card here, losing a life to do so. But hey, that's not terrible. Do that. Play Goblin. Red, black, 1/1. See what ringleader shows us. Reveal. Ouch. Goblins have haste, however. That's not terrible. So they'll have a Shadow. I don't want them to make us discard this card if they have a way to discard. I need to tap differently because this costs double red. Okay. They can block 2, take 5. I don't like that. Paying costs. Swift Spears played. Bloodstainmire, they fetch. Blood Crypt, shocked in. So that is 6. Dead to, if we block TBR, makes it only 13. block like that in case it's just TBR. TBR makes it so we're not dead. Doing it this way, we will need to rip straight gas, but all right, opponents at 7. Second shadow comes down. They've got 2 cards left. Bomat Courier that we knew about. They've got 2 blockers. A vial there will not do it. Draw ourselves a card. Harbinger. Vial, and we can go Harbinger here. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The thing that reduces our people. So at this point, it might be Snoop. Well, they're at 7. We have to block 1. We're dead to TBR no matter what. Block 1 there. We'll have 2. Sling Gang. Sling Gang might do it. Makes 2. Gives us 3 1/1s. They would have to hold back if they don't have anything. If they do have something, it has to be TBR. Because we can hold back here. Throw Boggart in front of a shadow. And then ringleader in front of the Bomat. If the opponent swings out, we're fine. They swing out. We block a shadow, block Bomat. No, do this differently. Because no matter what, we're dead to TBR. They fetch down to 6. Get a swamp. They had it. All right. Like I said, no matter what, we were dead to TBR. Even if we block there, if we full block, that is only well, it would be 12. At which point we probably aren't winning anyway, because we know what's on top. Oh well. So if we go full block, they needed to have exactly what they did, and they had exactly what they did. That's what we were trying to play around. But overall, deck is a very fun mid-range that just also can combo. I think it's very enjoyable. I think it's pretty well positioned right now. We just didn't play it super well because a lot of it's a toolbox type strategy, and this was our first time taking it out. If you learn this deck and learn its everything that it's trying to do and can figure out what to keep, what not to, definitely feels like it's a powerhouse in the right hands. Anyway, we went 2-3. I definitely think it's one to be taking a look at, especially if you're into tribal decks. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next video. Peace out, everybody.